A group of Harvard students put together an in-depth look at America's finances, the annual report of the USA. The report is a detailed analysis of where America spends its money, looking at areas such as Social Security, foreign relations, education, science, and technology.
My name's Daniel Beckman. I'm the executive editor of ARUSA 2013, and I wrote articles on Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid. And one of my interesting findings was that whereas earlier last decade, annual growth in Medicare costs was around 7.1% per year, it's fallen in the past since about 2007 to around 3.8% per year. And if that trend were to continue, although not everyone agrees on why it exists, costs of Medicare over the next 10 years would be about $800 billion lower than under current projections.
My name is Priyanka Menon. I worked on defense, immigration, and education. One interesting thing I found was that last year, President Obama requested $285 million in additional discretionary funding for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics education. However, critics of the proposal argued that the current proposal actually cuts numerous effective and productive STEM education programs with little to no explanation for why those programs were deemed duplicative or ineffective.
Hi, my name's Benson, and I looked at tax policy for ARUSA. When I started the project, I knew I was going to find all kinds of inefficiencies in the nation's tax code. What I wasn't expecting was to find such inequality in the way our tax code is set up. For example, I specifically looked at tax expenditures, and that's basically spending through the tax code through deductions, exclusions, and tax refunds. And the 10 largest tax expenditures, according to the Congressional Budget Office, benefit, or more than half of that benefit from those expenditures goes towards the top quintile of income earners. The nature of the tax expenditures, like the employer-based healthcare exclusion and mortgage interest deduction, by their very nature, they benefit wealthier families. And that's something that I found a little troubling about our tax code, that it was slanted to benefit the wealthy.
I'm Matt Shuham. I was the writer for the Farm Bill and the ACA articles in this year's ARUSA. And one interesting thing I learned, at least, about the Farm Bill and how it works is specifically about crop insurance, which is basically a way for the federal government to pay farmers and to pay crop insurance companies, essentially just for existing. Large farms around the country can get up to $100,000 per person, really just for fluctuations in weather patterns, or even less than that sometimes. But because farm interests are so ingrained in the Washington ecosystem, despite the cosmetic changes that happened to this year's Farm Bill, nothing is probably going to change, at least in as much as how much money farmers get paid just for being farmers.
The annual report of the USA contains much more information like this that can help inform our budget discussions and ultimately our votes. For more information, please visit the Harvard Political Review's website.